Deeper and explain to me, you know, explain to me the narcissist and why is that everybody is a narcissist these days?
I think so. I pulled up the requirements. Let me get them. And I think that when people hear the requirements and they feel like, oh, I know someone who that pertains to. I know someone who that is. So according to the DSM, right, one of the criteria is you have to have 5 of the following 9. So when I read these 9, you'll hear how common some of the things are.
Okay.
And some people, when I say it, you may be like, oh, that was so-and-so. That's so-and-so. That's so-and-so. Then you'll understand how it's so easy to be overlooked. So a narcissist has a grandiose sense of self-importance. That means they think highly of themselves than they really are.
So let's stop right there.
A lot of people on social media.
We're gonna look at these. We got time. Okay, grandiose. Yeah, I think highly of myself. So when I hear something like that, I think so it's the opposite. And I know where you're gonna go. I know what you're gonna say. But just for the sake of conversation,
Yeah.
So in order to not to be a narcissist, I should think lowly of myself.
Not necessarily lowly. So like, a narcissist would think that they may think grandiose of themselves in a way that's not necessarily true.
Okay.
You know,
That makes a difference.
Yeah. They may feel like, just say if we're both salesmen, right? I may feel like I am the best. I can only be the best. No one can be better than me. Like, if you want the best, you gotta hire me. And to some extent, you gotta think like that in some ways. So that's what I'm saying. It's really hard when people start to overuse these words based off of one criteria.
You know, I started laughing because, you know, I came from a retail background, retail manager, only had one job my whole life, only filled out one application my whole life, and it was in sales. And I promise you, man, those were the people that I was looking for, those ones who had that type of cockiness, you know what I'm saying? Because I had it myself. I felt like I was, when it came to sales, it was like no one can touch me, you know. So
you
I
have,
was.
You have to think that way, especially as entrepreneurs, or to get through some hard jobs to make money and commission based. You gotta think that way. That's why you can't diagnose somebody off of one thing.
That's right. So number 2. What's number 2?
Number 2 is a pre.
You know, do the overuse of the words like toxic relationship, trauma bond, all these the master word narcissist. do that hinder the professionals? Because everybody. I mean, really and truly, today everybody's a narcissist.
Yep.
If you let social media tell you so.
Yes. So I think it does hinder. And the other word I was thinking of was a while back, girls. Mainly, I saw girls. I don't know if it was girls and guys. They thought it was cute to be labeled as, or that other people labeled them as bipolar. That was the word that was, floating around. I got mood swings on bipolar. And so, yes, it does hinder people because when people. Another way it hinders treatment sometimes is people will come in and they will say, hey, I feel like I'm a narcissist.
Okay.
And so the way a diagnosis works is there is this huge book that we have, right? It's like our little Bible, for lack of a better word. It's the DSM. In order to get a diagnosis, you have to meet like 5 or 6, just say for narcissists, I think it's 5 out of 9 criteria.
Okay.
So people will just look up, am I a narcissist, or is my mom a narcissist, or something like that, and they may see the criteria, right? They may see 2 things or 3 things, and then all of a sudden their mom is a narcissist, or they're a narcissist. And so if you are if you yourself are struggling with, I feel like something is wrong with me, but I don't know what, or I'm having a hard time in my relationships or my friendships, and you Google this, or someone blurts out you're a narcissist, that's a heavy burden on you. Because now,
Wow.
as your therapist, I have to be, it's like court, because now I got to prove to you that you're not this.
Right.
That power of two is such a strong thing, because you got to think about, it's the power of that husband and that wife when they team up properly. And even with that, that husband and that wife team up separately with God. Oh, Jesus.
Come on.
And when they do that, oh my goodness, there is no way to fail. Things can get hard, but they can't fail.
They can't fail.
They cannot fail.
Listen, people. All right, now I'm gonna leave that alone because.
So here we go. I'm going to go ahead into my Proverb 31 wife. Okay.
That is all right.
So when I think about that, at the beginning of that whole Proverbs 31, it was the lessons to a king on how to be a king. Then it goes into what to look for a wife.
My Lord.
So, you have people, when they think about relationships, a lot of females look for that man that's going to take care of them. But a Proverbs 31 wife, that baby, she stands on her own. She stands on her own. This, if you read into it, she's creating, she's enlarging. She's there for her husband, but on her own. He's running the kingdom. She's managing the home. She's managed, but she's enlarging it because she's taking care of her handmaid. She's raising the kids. She's creating material to make her own clothes. Her hand is at the plow. It ain't idle.
My Lord. Wait a minute. Man, but see, first of all, you didn't just jumped into this thing, and I wasn't ready because I'm sitting up here. You didn't just blew. Man, I'm about to shout already because. Oh, see, I knew I should. Yeah.
It is very unlikely that a man is going to come home and say, "Let me give you the keys to the kingdom, baby."
Well, see, I didn't say that he came home and educated, but
that's what he would have to do. That's what he would have to do in order for her opinion to be applicable and be something that he can actually go back to the office or go back and say, "Okay, this is what he needs to do."
Right. Well, no, it don't have to be because he could see what you're thinking along the lines that she had no value, and no. I'm thinking along. Well, okay, I'll just say this: the average man, and I'm not going all the way back to Frederick Douglass. I'm just saying the average married man is going to have going to think that his wife has some value. And he's going to confide in her, and he's going to want her opinion.
Okay, well, let's ask our viewers. You guys, do you think that that's true? Do you think it's true that the average man or husband is coming home? And what did you say? Coming home and asking their opinion.
Yeah. See, and here's the thing. If you're viewing and you're not married, and then you're not qualified to answer the question.
What do you mean not married?
If you
wait, don't put stipulations because then these people some of them have been married, some of them have.
Well, if you have been married, you can answer the question. If you're currently married, you can answer the question. But the point is, if you ain't never been with a man, then like that, then you really don't know that he would come and do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Oh no.
1, go.
I've got an idea.
Welcome, 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 man. We are live. Man, it feels so good to be in the place, man. It's been a minute since we had the Power Pad podcast. And I am, man, I'm ready to rock and roll. I hope you are too. Hey, listen, I want to make sure, man, that that the comments are on. So hey, if leave me a comment, let me know that that the comments are on. And if you guys can't hear me because I'm talking now, let me know because hey, it's been a minute, and I want to make sure that this thing is right, So and also, please make sure that you like and you share and you do all that good stuff, man. It's real important. It's important to the success. So can we do that for me? Okay, so I'm gonna jump into this thing. It's a lot of stuff that I can talk about. A lot of stuff, since the last time that we did a show. A lot of things that have changed. I do want to, just mention that I've been in the lab, and I have been working on my new book called The Power of Dating. And I'm really excited about that. And so I've been into this dating realm. And if those who don't know, I authored a book called The Power of Two. And I that was released in 2020. Man, is that right? Of 2020, 2020? I think so. I should know better. But The Power of Two, man, was an amazing work. If you haven't, purchased that book, I highly recommend you do it. But then this is what I realized, guys. I realized that, I want to say the cart before the horse, but it's not totally true. What I realized is that it was some things that we needed to do before we even got into the Power of Two. Man, I'm so excited about the Power of Two, but I promise you that when you the power of dating is going to be such a needed work. I've been taking my time, and I had a release date for 2023. I said, what, I'm not going to rush it. I won't, because it's some things that I really want to make sure that we talk about. So now we're looking that it's going to be over into the new year. And I'm going to be coming back with and talking about that, but we're going to be talking about the stages of dating. And one of the things that I wanted to do on this podcast, I wanted to talk about, dating. I wanted to talk about, I'm gonna be honest with you, this video been going around, and I really thought it was a really short clip because I only seen, just a few seconds of it, and I thought that was all that was there. But then a good friend of mine today sent me, a full, I'm assuming the full clip, and so it had some other variances in it. And I said, you know what, man, what a great showpiece, because so what I'm gonna do, I think it's gonna be my first reaction video. I'm gonna tell you, just a disclaimer. I didn't practice this. I didn't study this. Nothing like that. I watched the video once, and I cut it so I can play it and hear. And then I say, you know what? I want to talk about this video, in real time. So for whatever comes out of my mouth tonight about this video is gonna be raw and uncut because I didn't do no practice or rehearse. I don't know if that's gonna be good or bad. All I know is that this is what we got, and I'm excited to be bringing that tonight. And then also, I asked some relationship questions, and I'm going to start adding that into the Power Podcast because I think that was pretty cool. So you guys, a few of you guys asked me some questions, and once again, I got the questions, and I did not, I didn't do no research on it. So I'm going to pull up those questions, and I'm going to come straight from the heart with those questions. What I do know is that I'm going to give you guys whatever I got tonight because, listen, this is the Power Podcast. And, man, it's going to be powerful, and I'm excited about it. So what I want to do, I want to go ahead and because this is, I believe it's a 6-minute long video. Okay, so maybe some of you seen this video. Maybe some of you haven't seen it. So what I'm going to do, just allow me to play this video, okay? Now, this is, I'm going to set it up a little bit for you. This is, first of all, let me just say this is not an actual occurrence. This is what I want to call it. It's a reenactment, maybe, that's not the word I'm looking for. It's a skit, okay? It's a skit. I'm assuming it's a skit. I think I read somewhere where it said it was a skit. So, but some of the things about it just puts off skits vibes. But what I will say is that this is although it may be a skit, at the same time, things like this happen. And guess what, guys? Because it's happened, because it deals with relationships. Yeah, I'm gonna deal with it. I'm gonna talk about it. We're gonna sit down together. We're going to talk about this first date, and I believe that some of you guys are going to be surprised on how my views on this, how I take it. Okay, some of you guys are going to just you're going to be totally blown away on whose side I'm on, and then, what I want you to do is just give me a chance and let me explain myself. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to play this video. And then we're gonna give give my reactions to it. Okay. So what I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna play it, and then I'm going to play it again. I'm gonna play it all the way through. Then I'm gonna play it again. But I know I'm gonna stop, and I'm gonna make points as we go. Okay. We got it. All right. Here we go.
He got me at the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. I ain't getting out this car. Yes.
Would you want me to open the door for you?
Look.
Are you're recording me?
Yeah. This is the Cheesecake Factory. This is the Cheesecake Factory, y'all.
What's the problem with that?
This is a chain restaurant. Who takes someone that looks like this to a chain restaurant?
You want to talk about it? I'm fine with talking about it, even in front of them.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Come on, get up on in the car. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Oh, okay.
So
yes, let's talk about it. About it.
So you expect a man to go all out on the first date? Is that right?
I mean, you're supposed to. When you take out a beautiful woman and you're courting her, because I get courted. So you're courting her, right? You're supposed to take care of her. You're supposed to cover her. You're supposed to protect her, cherish her, treat her well, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I agree. I
At the
went
Cheesecake
into this
Factory?
date as I expect, with the expectations for myself, to keep you safe, to respect you, to pay for your food, of course, pick you up, of course, and just treat you like a gentleman, which I believe I have.
mean, you've been pretty
and then-
nice, but I mean,
And then
Cheesecake Factory.
I, on the other hand, have certain expectations for a girl I go out with on the first date. I expect her to be respectful too. I expect her to be cooperative, and at least
What did I do that wasn't cooperative?
well, I mean, like even like when we were walking to the car, you wouldn't put your hand around my arm or anything like that, or hold my hand or anything like that.
I mean, it's too early for that.
Okay,
I don't know
and
you
I can
yet.
respect that. I can respect that.
Okay.
When I got to your apartment to pick you up, you didn't want to invite me in. I can respect that too. We're not
Again,
maybe
I don't
we're not
know
there
yet.
Okay,
I don't know yet.
and then, but
I mean, I feel like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do as a woman.
but
I got myself
there's
all made
nothing
up.
wrong with the Cheesecake Factory, right?
Yes, there's a lot wrong with the Cheesecake Factory.
Okay, well look at
I mean,
my planner where we were gonna go originally.
see, now that's where we should have went. All right there. Call him. Call him.
No,
What do you mean no?
see,
I
I
know you
specifically
didn't.
told you both yesterday and this morning I'd come to pick you up at 4 p.m. Right? And I got to your place at 4 p.m. You didn't even come downstairs for another hour, and so I was waiting downstairs.
I understand.
For an hour, right?
But I wasn't expecting for work to take me so long. I got home a little late. And like I said, I don't know you well enough to invite you up into my apartment.
And
that is not possible.
And that's why I'm saying, I'm thinking, okay, if we're not there in the relationship to, meet at your apartment, then maybe we're not ready in a relationship for such a nice, fancy restaurant as Aria. Especially if I'm paying for the whole thing, which I'm still willing to do. I would have been.
Okay.
But if we're late, I told you
weren't
twice.
Late. It wasn't that late.
We literally left your place at the time the reservation was supposed to be. And I specifically said 4 because maybe we could get there early and even have some time to get to know each other on the way there and while we're in the parking lot.
I mean,
I'm waiting for a reservation.
we can still get to know each other. Isn't there another restaurant you can call that, like, the equivalent to that? I mean,
I literally
you
just
don't
said-
understand. Look at me. I cannot go in the Cheesecake Factory.
There's nothing wrong with
I will die. That's
Okay.
embarrassing.
Listen, as I said, I have very specific certain expectations for that.
No.
I can tell it's not gonna be there. And maybe we're not right for each other. So respectfully, I'm gonna just drop you off at home.
Oh no, he didn't.
Yeah, I'm up.
So you just want to call it a night? I mean,
Yeah.
isn't there some kind of compromise or something? Ladies, can you believe this?
I'm sorry, y'all.
He was
but-
out at the parking space.
If I don't feel respected, I
I
am
mean-
not gonna go through
I
with
mean,
the rest
come
of the day.
on. Well, I mean, you are serious. You're really leaving.
Yeah, you didn't want this place anyway, right?
I mean, I understand that I was late. I understand that. I understand that I could have been a bit more cooperative. You made some good points. That's why I'm willing to compromise. Are you sure you want to go home?
I don't have a lot of rules. I don't have a lot of expectations for a first date, but I've already set them, and you've broken every one.
Oh
So
my God.
I'm sorry. We're dropping you off home.
All right, whatever. Well, I guess I understand. You gotta do what you gotta do. I understand where you're coming from.
Wow. Hey man, did that trigger anybody? Listen, I'm already getting text messages about this video. It's crazy. Listen, I should have put a trigger warning up because based off of just listen, Man, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. I promise you guys, I get it. Yeah, but we're gonna listen. I got some questions that I'm gonna get to the end. So if you guys, if you watching and you ask me those questions from the Facebook or you seen those questions and you want me to you want to hear the answers to them, just stay tuned because we're gonna get through this reaction. Also, I put up on in the chat. If you're watching from the Power Podcast or you if you're watching from live on YouTube, I put a link in the chat to where if you want to join me on stage, man, be my guest, okay? And let's vent this thing out. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk it out. But what I want you to know that today we're talking about dating, okay? And we're gonna break this first date down. Okay, and my hope is that we will leave here with a better understanding of what is of what a first date or the first phase of dating should look like. Remember, guys, that I am in the process of authoring a new book called The Power of Dating. So when I got this this video, and shout out to my girl Denise Hill. For sending me this because, like I said, I didn't know that all of this content was in this video. I normally, from the ones that I seen before, it was just maybe the first 30 seconds of it. And she sent me this clip, and I was like, wow, okay, let's do a show about this. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring this back on stage, and we're going to break down this thing. I would love to hear your input and have a dialogue about it. So make sure that you can either come in on stage, be live with me, or you can put a question or a comment in the chat, and we can deal with it like that as well. Okay, we good? Okay, so let's see. Let's see. Okay. All right. So let's break this thing down. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be starting and stopping this thing because, because I want to, I really want to break it down. And so where we at right now, this is the first date. Okay. Now, so what's important to understand, and we don't have this information, and like I said, this is really a skit. In my opinion, it's a skit. God forbid this is an actual first date. But let's say for show purposes, it is the real deal. Okay, and the reason why I can say we can use this as the real deal because I know for a fact, okay, that stuff like this goes on. Maybe it happened to you, maybe it happened to somebody you know what I'm saying? But trust me, this is not unheard of. Okay, this is not unheard of. So this is their first date. Okay, now the assumptions are going to go in on, is this the first date? But how long have they been talking? Okay, now just based off of the way they are relating to each other, this could be the first date. But to me, it seems as if they have been maybe chatting, maybe texting, maybe they have been talking over the phone. Maybe it's been a week, maybe it's been a month. But what we do know is that this is the first time that they're going out and they're saying, okay, and it could be the first time they met each other. But I get a feeling that they've known each other, maybe they're co-workers, whatever the case may be. But what we do know is that this is the first date. Okay. Now, from the title, it says first date, she refuses to get out of the car because he took her to the cheesecake factory. Everybody that commented on this thing is saying the same thing. Okay. It's saying, okay, what's wrong with the cheesecake factory? Now there is a group of people that I would say that, probably would have a real serious problem with eating at a chain restaurant. Okay. Yeah, that's something we can deal with. that's something that's part of this whole scenario. Okay, now and I told you that some of you guys are going to be surprised when you hear my views on some things. So I'm going to say this right here. I'm going to go ahead and let you know that I have no problem with her having a I have no problem with her having a problem eating that Cheesecake Factory. It may be a thing where one would say, you know what, I don't like McDonald's, you know, and you know, listen, McDonald's can make a lot of people sick. Listen, I'm not hating on McDonald's. Some people love it, some people hate it. You know, maybe somebody say, listen, I don't mind going to Burger King, but I definitely don't want to go to McDonald's. So what am I saying here? All I'm saying is that I can understand her having a preference in the fact that she don't like Cheesecake Factory. Okay, I can get with that. Okay, now let's keep going because I can stay right there. Let's see what happens.
He got me at the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. I ain't getting out this car. Yes.
Okay, right there is what makes me think that this is a skit, because if he's out the car, he's driving. Okay, why is the car still running to where she could use the power windows? Okay, that's a little side note.
Would you want me to open the door for you?
Look.
Are you're recording me?
Yeah. This is the Cheesecake Factory. This is
okay. So let's deal with this, because you know this is a date. This is about dating. This is about the first date. Okay, how rude would it be to be on the first date and also be on your Snapchat, you know, your Instagram Live or whatever the case may be. Now, I know there's some people that make a living off of that, and everything they do, you know, is documented, you know, through a social media app. Okay, the reason why I point that out is because we that's going to be important to how I'm going to end this thing, and how I really see how this first date went. Okay, now we have to do some type of assumptions here, because there's not enough information, you know, to really give a good picture. So we can assume that that this is something that she does all the time. Okay, let's just assume that. Keep going.
It's the Cheesecake Factory, y'all.
What's the problem with that?
This is a chain restaurant. Who takes someone that looks like this to a chain restaurant?
You want to talk about it? I'm fine with talking about it, even in front of them.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Come on, get up on in the car. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Oh, okay.
Okay. So
yes, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
So you expect a man to go all out on the first date? Is that right?
I mean, you're supposed to.
Okay, so you know, man, I got to jump into this thing. I got to go ahead and just give it all up, because it's not gonna work. Okay, let's just deal with expectations, because you know I wanted to say this to them because this was the big deal. Okay, but you know I'm so fired up right now about this thing. I can't really contain myself. See, this whole thing is based off of expectation. What do you expect, you know, from the first date? You know, what do you expect? Oh, because see, what I'm laying out in my book, and I have said it before, and I really break it down into my new book that's coming out, The Power of Dating. And I talk about how during the first phase, the get to know each other phase, how you should not have any expectations. Yep, that's what I said. You should not have any expectations. And I think that is kind of ironic that, you know, throughout this clip, expectations are brought up numerous of times. But keep in mind, I said that during the get to know each other stage, this is their first date. So this is technically in the phase of their relationship where they're saying, I want to get to know you. I want to know who you are. And this is alluding to why I think she did nothing wrong. Let's keep going.
When you take out a beautiful woman and you're courting her, because I get courted.
Okay, man, let's stop. Okay, so that's a word that we don't hear that often. Now, courting. You know that, man. You know what? That's an old school word. You know, that's something that that I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't hear it anymore. You know, and when was the last time you heard the word courting? When was the last, you know, for you lovely ladies out there, for the beautiful ladies out there, when was the last time? First, let me ask you: do you know what courting means? Do you know what it means to be courted? Do you know what it feels like to be courted? You know, and then if you understand what courting means, tell me, when was the last time a man courted you? Oh, and let me help you with that. You know, that's where, you know, a man comes and he makes known what his intentions are. He you know, the process would be, I'm gonna talk to your father. I'm gonna talk to your mother, and I'm going to let them know that I wish, you know, to date your daughter. When was the last time someone had done that? And I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking, because you're looking at her and you're saying, well, maybe she's a little too old to be courted. Okay. Now here's the thing, because I told you in the beginning, I told you that it's all about expectations. So in the beginning, in this phase of dating, there is no expectations. Okay. There should be no expectations. You say, Eric, man, why you keep talking about no expectations? Because see, this is where you mess up in dating. This is where you mess up at, because see, now you start expecting some things. Now I can say one of her biggest problems is that she expected some things. Look, I'll give you an example. See, I tell my daughter, I say, you know, listen, you're dating, okay, and now if a guy want to take you out to a restaurant, you know, or he asks you what restaurant you want to go to, or whatever the case may be, you should have the expectation or the mindset that wherever he takes you, okay, you should have money in your pocket, in your purse, to where if you had to pay that bill, you can. Why? Because you do not expect him to pay it. Oh, I know. Oh, yes, I know you're going to be upset. I told you, you're going to be totally surprised on my views on this. But I got to help you. I got to show you, because see, what happened. So the reason why I think this is so important is because in relationships is when your expectations and what you expect to happen and what actually happens doesn't match up. See, I expected some things to happen. See, if I was a guy and I expected you to have sex with me, see, I'm going to go home frustrated, because my expectation was I'm going to take her out to dinner, and I'm going to wine and dine her. But my expectation is that we're going to make mad, passionate love at the end of the night. But sir, your expectations was wrong. You are in the getting to know each other stage, so you should not have expected anything. Well, to my ladies, well, I'm going to expect him to take me out to dinner. I'm going to expect him to spend, you know, $500, you know, with drinks and meal. You know, we're going to, you know, that's my expectation. Well, ma'am, I'm sorry. Your expectations are wrong. See what happens is, now that you're expecting some things to happen, you know, the relationship has really exploded or imploded because your expectations was wrong. Oh, man, see, I need to teach how not to have expectations during this phase of the relationship. And as we go through this, we're going to pull out why.
So you're courting her, right? You're supposed to take care of her. You're
And-
supposed to cover her. You're supposed to protect her, cherish her, treat her well, right?
What's
Yeah.
up, Shauna? What's
And-
up,
and
fellas?
Supposed to do.
I agree.
Not
I
at the
went
Cheesecake
into this
Factory?
date as I expect, with the expectations for myself to keep you safe, you know, to respect you, to pay for your food, of course.
See, he has expectations. You know, this is your first date, and you want to talk about, you know, expectations of you know, protecting, and you know, now it's okay. You're saying, listen, I'm a man. I'm going to pay for your food. That's something that he expects from himself. Okay. And you know, that's him saying, listen, you know, if I take you out on a date, then this is what I hold myself accountable for. That's a totally different thing from you holding somebody else accountable for something that you expect. I need you to understand that. It's a difference between you telling yourself, Eric, as a man, this is what you're going to hold yourself to. This is the standards you're going to hold yourself to. This is actually something that you don't ever have to speak to anybody. This is a conversation that you have with yourself. This is a conversation that a father has with his son. And you know what? This is a conversation that a mother would have with her son and say, listen, son, if you take a woman out, this is what you should do. But this is not an expectation from the person that you're courting, or the person that you're taking out. This is not anything for him to impose upon you. This is something this is a standard that you expect to uphold within yourself. I need you to understand the difference. Let's go.
Pick you up, of course, and just treat you like a gentleman, which I believe I have done.
I mean, you've been pretty
and then-
nice, but I mean,
And then
Cheesecake Factory.
I, on the other hand, have certain expectations for a girl I go out with on the first date.
Okay, so that's his first mistake. Because see, before he talks about what he expects from himself, and now he's going to go into, this is what I expect her to do. Okay, now what he's going to say, I get it, I totally get it, and it makes sense. But what I need everybody to understand is that and you're gonna really see it here, but when you have to put yourself in a situation where you really doesn't expect anything. I know it sounds crazy, but when it you know, especially in today's society, is when you start expecting him to do a certain thing, expecting her to do a certain thing. That is when and exactly where the relationship gets out of bounds, right there, because your expectations were skewed. And I'm not saying the expectations was high. I'm just saying they were a little twisted, a little skewed, because there should not have been an expectation. Listen, I call this the getting to know each other phase. So I can simply say, you don't know that man. You don't know that woman. So why are you expecting anything from them? Why? The reason why this has got to be so, the expectation have to be drilled home is, once again, is because this is where I see a lot of the hurt and confusion comes in relationships, especially in the early days, is because I expected him to do this. I expected her to do this. And when that expectation is not met, then all of a sudden the gender wars are heated up again. Oh yeah, I see it over. I talk to too many people. I understand what's happening. And see, I know this is sound crazy because everybody expects something. You know, everybody is expecting something. You know, so for me to come in here and say don't expect anything, man, that's just messing you up. Hey, Vicky, thanks for joining the show. Listen, I put the link up there, and to where you want to come on live, you're more than welcome to. But this is my lovely sister, She said, I was wondering if you have seen this video. Listen, I've seen clips of this video, the short clips, and a good friend of mine, Denise, sent me this full video earlier today. And I said, you know what? I had a different show I was gonna do, but I said, you know what? I'm going to do this show on this dating because if you don't know, Vicky, I'm in the process of writing a book called The Power of Dating. She said she lost points when she was late, an hour late. Yeah, she really did. Matter of fact, Vicky, you may be surprised on how much I agree with her, but she definitely lost points being late. And I think he did very well, because if it was me, I would have left, and I'm pretty sure I would have left. Okay.
I expect her to be respectful too. I expect her to be cooperative, and at least
What did I do that wasn't cooperative?
well, I mean, like even like when we were walking to the car, you wouldn't put your hand around my arm or anything like that.
You see right there, so now he goes in, now I want you to understand why these expectations are so bad in the beginning stages. I am not saying that you should not have expectations in a relationship. No, if you can go and you can search, just go to my page and search the word expectation, you will see that I said expectation is like it's like gas in the car. It's needed in a relationship, but not in the beginning phase, not in the getting to know each other phase. You shouldn't be expecting anything. I mean, and what I want you to understand is that you have to be cautious. You have to be careful. You have to be mindful. You just don't do, like my older sister always say, just don't be willy-nilly about who you spending time with, who you are allowing yourself to spend time with. Because we got too casual, in this dating thing, and it's perpetuating this hate that we have in the community right now. Vicky says, she said, it was her attitude, not her belief. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying my best not to deal with her attitude. I am trying, because if I dealt with her attitude, I can look at her, the way she's doing her mouth, the way she's doing her hair, the way her eyes flicker, all of that stuff, just puts out negative energy, that low vibrational energy, to where I can really go into it. I'm trying my best, sister, to not deal with that, because I want to show how the importance of the non-expectations, and how it can benefit you during the first phase of dating. All right, so let's keep going. Oh, but it's her attitude. Oh,
That or hold my hand or anything like that.
I mean, it's too early for that.
Okay.
I don't know you.
I can respect that. Okay. When I got to your apartment to pick you up, you didn't want to invite me in. I can respect that too. We're not
I don't know there yet.
Okay.
See, there it is. I don't know you yet. See, there's that expectation. He should not expected her to hold his hand. He should not expected to go to her house. He should not and see, now I love the way he's planning. Okay, but this is like I told y'all, this stuff happens all the time. My man Rodney, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Power Broadcast. Man, Rodney says, "Hey, man, where's the book?" Man, listen, the book is coming out, man. The Power of Dating. I gave it a 2024 date. I wanted to hit in the first part of the year, but you know what? The more I write on it, the more I realize that it's a lot more to be said in this book. And I believe now, Rodney, you got the power too. If I'm not mistaken, you got the power too. And this is definitely going to be a companion to the power too. But what my desire is with the Power of Dating is to set the stage to where you can almost graduate to the power two. You know, what I want to do is kind of give you a groundwork. You know, and see, somebody said, well, Eric, should you have did the Power of Dating? No, I did exactly what God told me to do. Okay, I did it. I promise you. So I'm not worried about that. When God put on my heart to go back and deal with the dating, and He gave me those 3 phases of dating. The first phase, which is the getting to know each other phase. The second phase is that committal phase, and then that third phase, or the ultimate phase, is marriage. Then we're gonna break down marriage into 3 phases: the beginning stage of marriage, and then the money stage of marriage, and then the companionship. Man, when I started getting that revelation, Rodney, man, I said, yeah, we just got to go back to work. And now, so I'm excited about that. And thanks for having me. Thanks for purchasing the book, man. We're gonna keep this thing rolling because, listen. Once again, for those who are coming in and didn't get the beginning, this is, we're gonna say a couple. This is their first date, and she would not get out the car because she just stayed fast. Or listen, you're not gonna take me to the Cheesecake Factory on the first date. Okay, now I'm gonna say, listen, if she's not going on the first date, then she ain't going on the second, third, or fourth date at all. Okay, that's just her standards. And see, and that's where, guys, where I really want you to understand how I really can say, you know what, more power to her. I really want you to understand, and I know it sounds weird because she got a really funk attitude, but I want you to understand that it's important that if this is truly who you are, then the best thing that she could have done is showed him who she really truly are. Oh man, I've been in situations. I promise you. Now, this is me being honest. I have been in situations where, I showed out because I was trying to impress somebody doing this first stage. And how many of you guys know that that you can't sustain that? And you better, now in my later years in life, wisdom kicked in, and I say, you know what? I'm not sending my representative out anymore. I'm not sending somebody out to say, okay, let me give you a representation of who I am. No, in my older years, I realized that it's a whole lot easier for me to be myself. Oh yeah, y'all missed that. Okay, well, we just keep going. We'll keep going. Man, welcome all y'all new people coming. Make sure that you like and share. I appreciate it.
And then, but
I feel like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do as a woman.
But
I got myself all made
nothing
up.
wrong with the Cheesecake Factory.
Man, you know what? Okay, so I hate when anybody say I'm doing everything. Because let me explain something about this everything. And this is a little different with this case, but I it just every time I hear it, it just bothers me. Okay, so y'all, just let me deal with it for a second. 30 seconds. Doing everything in a relationship doesn't mean you're doing everything right. And I promise you, I'm just gonna leave that right there.
Right?
Yes, there's a lot wrong with the Cheesecake Factory.
Okay, well, look at my plan where we were gonna go originally.
See, now that's where we should have went. All right. right there. Call
See,
him. Call him.
No.
What do you mean no?
See, I
I know you
specifically
didn't.
told you both yesterday and this morning that I'd come to pick you up at 4 a.m. At 4 p.m. Right? And I got to your place at 4 p.m. You didn't even come downstairs for another hour, and so I was waiting downstairs
I understand.
for an hour. Right?
But I wasn't expecting for work to take me so long. I got home a little late. And like I said, I don't know you well enough to invite you up into my apartment.
And
that is not possible.
And that's why I'm saying, I'm thinking, okay, if we're not there in the relationship to, meet at your apartment, then maybe we're not ready in a relationship for such a nice, fancy relationship.
Did y'all catch that? See, I need to see right there. He hit her with some logic that just shook her up. Okay, right there was a reality slap. Okay, and basically what he was saying, listen, if we're not there to where I don't know you. You just told me that you didn't know me well enough to invite me into your apartment, and he took that on. He took that, head up, chest out, like a man. Okay. But now the logic comes in and say, listen, now I'm understanding, what the problem with expectation. Now these are my words. See, now that logic is coming out, and really I want you guys to see, especially from this point on, you're gonna see the difference in how a man think and the difference in how a woman think, because you're gonna see, you're gonna be able to clearly see her operate in her right brain emotion, and you're gonna be able to clearly see him operate in left brain logic. Okay, and they should work in harmony with each other. But when you're not properly educated, when you're not properly poised, then they are going to be at war with each other. And these are the problems that we have. And this is one of the reasons why I say that having the expectations, is a problem in the beginning phase of the relationship.
Restaurant is Aria, especially if I'm paying for the whole thing, which I'm still willing to do. I would have been, but if we're late, I told you twice.
It wasn't that late.
We literally left your place at the time the reservation was supposed to be. And I specifically said 4 because maybe we could get there early and even have some time to get to know each other on the way there and while we're in the parking lot. Waiting for a reservation.
We can still get to know each other. Isn't there another restaurant you can call that, the equivalent to that?
I
you
literally
don't
said,
understand. Look at me. I cannot go in a Cheesecake Factory.
See that
there's
emotion?
nothing wrong with
I will die.
Perfect.
That's embarrassing.
Listen, as I said, I have very specific certain expectations for this.
No.
I can tell it's not gonna be there. And maybe we're not right for each other. So respectfully, I'm gonna just drop you off at home.
Oh no, he didn't.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm up.
You see it?
So you just want to call it a night?
Yeah.
Isn't there some kind of compromise or something?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, y'all see it. See, it's hitting her full fledged, and now it kind of snapped in because now she want to say, listen, 2 + 2 is equal up to 4. See, before none of that stuff made sense to her because she was all wrapped up into what she wants. But see, now that reality is hitting, now she's seeing things. Okay, my action, my attitude is causing this type of result. My behavior is causing this type of result. So now she's saying, hey, can't we compromise? Okay, so hey guys, here's another thing that I talk about in the beginning stages of dating. This is in the first phase. Okay, this is why I say a lot of you guys would be surprised on how much I think she's right. Now her attitude is wrong. Okay, but some of the things that she's doing is, man, is perfect. When you are a man that is trying to be intentional about a mate, then she is doing exactly what you need her to do. Now she talks about compromising. Guess what? I say, man, in the beginning stages of the relationship, there should not be any compromises. Why would you compromise? What's the point? You should have a list of standards that you stand on. If you don't eat at the Cheesecake Factory, if that's your standard, if that's where you're drawing the line on and saying, you know what, I will not ever eat at a chain restaurant, then let me know. And I have no problem with that, because now I can make a decision. Do I want to move forward with you? Because if I know at this point that if I move forward with you, then we can never eat at a chain restaurant. McDonald's is out of the question. Papa Do's is out of the question. Cheesecake Factory, don't even think about it. That's why I say, man, you know what? Hey, I'm glad I love that. I love it, and I love it. Do I like her attitude? No. But did she give some, man, did she help a brother out? Of course she did. Because see, I would rather her stand on the way she feels and say, you know what, I will not eat. And see, now she just talked about compromise. She said, can't we compromise? No, ma'am. In the beginning, in this phase of dating, and no need to compromise. No need, because if you're gonna compromise now, you know, is it really what you want to do? Or you're doing it because you feel like you want to be in relationship with somebody? No, when we move forward in this dating realm, then we need to be fully persuaded on what we expect and don't expect out of a relationship. But you say, well, Eric, man, you know, relationships is about compromise. Of course it is, but not in this first phase of dating. This first phase is all about you. I'm gonna tell you, this first phase is the only phase when I tell my listeners, my readers, that it is okay for you to be selfish. Oh yeah, I said it. Now listen, I'm the same guy that says selfishness is the number one relationship killer. But listen, we're not talking about a relationship. We're talking about getting to know each other. You have to give yourself time. You have to give a relationship time to develop. I need to decide whether I want to be in relationship with you right now. So I'm not going to deal. I don't have to deal with anything that I don't want to deal with. Why? Because I'm looking for red flags. Oh yeah, I'm being real selfish here. Because when I can get out of that phase and get into a committed phase, man, I already know if I make it there, oh, you somebody. Because I was vetting the hell out of you. Oh, I was looking for all types of reasons to walk away. But you didn't give me any. And so we're here. We're here because I have vetted you. So when I look at a person like this, matter of fact, that's pretty much the end of this. Okay. When I look at a person like her, and him for that matter, you know, for her, I say, you know what? Yeah, job well done. Okay. Job well. You stood on your principles, I'll call it. You said, you know what? I'm not eating at a Cheesecake Factory. Whether people agree with you or not, and you know, whether they think you're being crazy or delusional or whatever, you know, some people start attacking her look and say, you know, she ain't all that pretty. You know, that it doesn't matter. I don't care what you look like. You still have standards. You know, and I would rather you tell me up front and say, you know what, Eric, you know, I don't eat this type of stuff. I don't eat in places like this. You know, it's okay in the beginning stage, in the beginning phase, for you to just tell me that, listen, you know, I expect this type of behavior from the person that's courting me. It's okay. Because now you're giving me an opportunity to decide whether I want to move forward. The problem that we having in dating, and I'm just as serious as I can be. The problem that we're having is that both parties are sending representatives of themselves that not really truly represent who they are. Oh yeah, yeah. I hate to tell you. I hate to tell you because see, I know this is true because why are they failing? Now I'm not saying people can't change, but how is it that that you can have a baby by somebody that you met 6 months ago, and then now and I talk to you about this person, you say he's the worst person that ever lived. What happened? What happened? Why is he such a dog and such a bad person and toxic and a narcissist? Why is that? Where was all that logic when you were dating? You see, what I was trying to submit to you is that the problem that we have in relationships is that we don't vet long enough, and we give too much in the beginning, and we expecting to get a return. But I already told you that you should expect nothing. So what are you doing? What are you doing? We're going to talk about this for days to come. It's towards the end of the show, and I promised that I was going to do the questions. So let's go ahead and pull these up so I can deal with these. Let's see. Okay, let's deal with this one. Okay. So this is Miss Pamela Scott. Hey Pamela, I hope you are watching. I hope you are. If you're not watching live, make sure that you hashtag replay so I know that you're getting your answer. Her question is, how do you kick family out of relationship? And I did want to, I wanted to kind of answer these raw, and this is going to be the raw as you get, okay? Because I could have asked her, are you talking about in-laws? Are you talking about brothers and sisters? What level of family are you talking about? Then I could have asked her, what is the problem? Why is it that they have to be kicked out of your relationship? I could have asked her all of those questions, but I didn't. And I didn't ask because I wanted to, kind of deal with it. I wanted to deal with it generically because if there's one thing when I first read it, it hit my spirit, and I really want to kind of go there, Pamela. I really want to go there. So what hit my spirit when I first read it was, and a lot of times in relationships, okay, and I'm gonna go on the assumption that there's somebody that's on your side that you want out of your relationship. Okay, it very well could be somebody that's maybe somebody you're dating, and their family is causing issues in your relationship. It very well could be the issue. Okay, but either way. Okay, what I want you to understand is that a lot of times families see some things that we don't see. Okay, a lot of times we don't see that they see things that we don't see. I want you to understand that a lot. There's a book called the Dream Giver, and one of the characters in the book represented family. They were called border bullies, and the border bullies' job was to keep the main character into what they called a comfort zone, into a place of familiar place. Okay, I'm not going to go into the detail, but one of the things that we realized in that book was that it was always seemed as if those border bullies were enemy to the main character. Okay, It always appeared to where, okay, you're trying to keep me from, living my best life. But as the book unfolded, um, we realized that the reason why they were all in his business is because they seen some things that he didn't see, and they was afraid that if he did went to that next level, or did that thing that they kept pushing him back, that he was going to hurt, and they really didn't want to see him get hurt. Okay, now I wanted to give that, as a baseline before I really get into how to kick them out of your relationship, because kicking them out is really, simple. Okay, you just can't let them in. Okay, see, once you invite them in, you gave them permission to be there. Okay, and so the only thing that you can do as far as kicking them out is now, moving forward, you have to exclude them from being in. Oh, so what do that mean there? That means that there's going to be some things that you normally would share that you don't share anymore. Why? Because you're trying to set new boundaries, set new standards. Okay, and my new standard, my new boundaries is no mother, no father, no sister, brother, no family member. No, I'm not talking about my relationship to you. Now, what I want to caution you on is that you're gonna need to talk to somebody. Okay? Oh, you need to talk to somebody. Yeah, you're gonna have to have somebody that you trust, and it don't have to be family, but you're gonna have to talk to somebody, because relationships, man, listen, they're tough, they're hard. I said it many times, and in order for us to get through these things, we got to have somebody that we talk to. If it ain't nothing but somebody to listen to, because they don't have to say anything. Oh, I thank God for my brothers that I can just call and just vent, and then they be like, "You good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." All right, man, hit me up. You need something else, and that's all they said. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I thank God for them. You see what I'm saying? I thank God for the ones who say, "Hey, man, all right, this is what you got to do." I thank God for them too. But my point is that you're gonna need somebody. So you're gonna have somebody that maybe a family member that you want in your relationship. Then you're gonna have some family members that you don't want. Okay, it's a thin line between that, because what I really want you to understand is that having family in your relationship may not be the problem. Okay, how you manage those families that's in your relationship, that's what we get stronger at. That's what we got to do, because we don't want to be in the relationship where we cutting off people, because you may need them. Okay. Now, like I said, I didn't ask the details, because I purposely didn't ask the details, because when I seen the question, some things came in my spirit, and I wanted to keep it generic, because I wanted you to be able to hear what God is saying. Okay, that's what I really want. All right, I hope that helped. All right, so here's my man. Oh man, me and Sean go back, man. Probably about 11, 12 years when I up here in Huntsville, running the streets, man. Just doing our thing, and this was a tough one too. So we're gonna get this one raw, because I wanted to give it to you raw. But his question is, how do you start a relationship? And we kind of went on, and he was talking about how important, understanding how to start a relationship is, and I totally agree. Now, one of the things I would say, Sean, and to the ones who are listening, how you start something is how you're gonna have to finish it. Oh, so you're gonna have to, how to start that relationship is really important to the foundation of that relationship. So what I want you to understand, and I know LaShawn is one of the smartest guys I know. Okay, so I know that this question You know, it was a loaded question. Maybe it was just for me to have to talk about. But either way, I'm giving you the raw uncut version. Okay, in the beginning, because when you start talking about the start, you're talking about the foundation. So so I can interchange that how to start and say, well, what is the foundation? You know what I'm saying? You know, of the relationship. Okay. And when I look at that foundation, because if I'm building the house, I can't start with the roof. I gotta start with I gotta lay that concrete, lay that foundation. I gotta do some groundwork. Okay. And so uh, we falter in relationships because we did not do the groundwork. We didn't prepare the soil. We didn't we didn't lay the concrete. You know, maybe we jumped into, putting the walls up and, putting the rooms together before we laid that foundation. Okay, so now, what is the foundation then, Eric? The foundation when we dealing with the relationship is what I call the vetting process. Okay, and I'm gonna put some game on this thing. I'm gonna put some game on it. Let's just go ahead and admit to ourselves that we do a horrible job choosing partners. Oh, I know. Oh, yeah. Don't be mad at me. Okay, so let me prove it then. Look at your track record. How well have you been doing? How well have you been doing? I don't know. I don't know who you've been dating, but how well have you been doing? So what I want you to understand is that maybe we don't know the proper way to vet a relationship. Maybe you need somebody to do that for you. See, when you're a man like Sean, now Sean got two beautiful daughters, and see, his daughters got to understand that they have a mother and a father that loves them dearly. They better use that resource. And then maybe it's not the mother and father, that maybe you have an auntie or uncle, somebody. But what I want you guys, only thing that I'm saying is there's some things at your disposals. There's some people that will go to war over you. You better let them into the beginning part of your relationship. If you're serious about somebody, and you go through that getting to know each other stage, and now you are contemplating whether you're gonna go into the committal stage. Before you commit to that person, you better take them to mom and dad. You better take them to your favorite auntie, your favorite uncle. Say, hey, this is so and so. Tell me what you think. And let them spend time with each other. Oh yeah. It's a way of doing it. It's a way of doing it. See, you say, well, and see, that's why Pamela, I say, I can't just say, hey, family need to be out of relationship. You can't kick them out, because I'm telling you that, man, that your family, somebody that you love and you care about you, man, that's going to be the person that's going to be your advocate. And see, we got away from those things. We got away from, building a foundation of relationship. We got away from that stuff. In that video, the lady used the word courting. We got away from being courting, courting, the gentleman coming to court, his daughter, her daughter. We got away from those things. And look what it got us. Look where we at. So when we talk about starting a relationship, when we start talking about, that foundational relationship, we're talking about, the proper way of getting to know that potential spouse. And that is called the vetting process. That vetting process is saying, listen, I'm going to give myself time. Oh yeah, I'm going to give myself time. I'm going to allow myself to have this time. During this time, I'm going to make sure that people that I know that love and care about me is going to be able to spend time with this person. And I'm gonna tell you, listen, especially young girls out there. I mean, I don't care. I mean, young girls, young guys, but especially these young girls. Listen, the worst thing that you can do is feel like you want to have a separate life with the person that you're dating and your family. Oh man, I seen. Listen, you don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I don't care, how square lane, whatever the word is, what I'm saying, that you think your parents are. Man, ain't nobody gonna go harder than your mom and dad, that person that love and care about you. Oh yeah. Yeah, they're gonna say some crazy stuff. They're gonna say, listen, I'll kill you over my daughter. Oh, I'm unalive you. Okay, don't shut me off, Facebook. That dad's gonna say some stuff, and dad's gonna do what dads do. I did it, listen. But the thing about it is, man, you want to have that in your tool belt. Oh yeah, you better listen to me, ladies. Y'all share this out to to that young girl that's just about to start dating. Listen, I said this a while back, and I got some backlash on it. I'm gonna say it again. I don't care if you have to make up an imaginary male figure. You better lie about it. Tell him that you got a big brother, that will unalive a person over you, man. Because there is nothing. Listen, I know, guys. I'm gonna just say it like this because I ain't trying to get shut down, and I'm gonna get out of here. I know guys that literally prey on unprotected women, and I am telling you to lie about being covered. Now, some of y'all ain't got to lie. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because some of y'all have strong men in your life that you keep separate from your dating process. But what I want you to understand is that men act differently when they know that you are covered or protected by another man. I'm putting game out here. It's gonna be a lot of these knuckleheads are gonna be upset with me because I'm saying it. But listen, whether you are telling the truth or lying, it doesn't matter because it's going to do the same thing. You're going to send a message out to that male to know that, listen, if something happens to me, you're going to have to deal with him. And some of y'all got mothers that'll go hard. Okay, so so I'm not going to downplay what a mother can do. But I want you to understand that it's a difference when a woman when the presence of a man is there, and that potential mate is gonna say, if I mistreat his daughter or his niece or his sister, I'm gonna have to deal with him, and he operates accordingly. It's a special dude that won't. And you probably don't need to be with him anyway. Man, listen, I done went over 15 minutes, but I really enjoyed this show. It's been a minute, man, since I've been here, and it's been so good, man. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the views. I appreciate the likes and the love and the sharing and all that good stuff. I do appreciate it. Listen, guys, I got some new stuff that's going to be coming up, some new stuff that I'm working on. along with that book, definitely want to say before I get leave, I want to shout out my girl So with the live with Erica So, my co-host. Today's her birthday, so big shout out, big happy birthday to you. And looking forward to big things with the live with Erica So show. Also, we have joined Spotify, so you can catch our episodes on of the live show. You can catch that on Spotify as well, and all that good stuff. So, but I am going to call it a night. Once again, guys, I really appreciate you, and I will. I'm looking. Man, I see you guys next time. Look.
I've got an idea.